And you have to be able to manage the pundits as well as the Manchester United manager, not just the players. Is that right?
Honestly, to be fair, it's tiring, Dave. It is massively. Look, it's just tiring. As an ex-United player, people think, oh, honestly, it's just tiring watching it. And I don't think we're asking for a lot, because a few weeks ago when I watched the games against Bournemouth, Newcastle, Villa, which actually one game of those was lost and one was drawn, so it's not exactly amazing. I was actually really happy that there was an excitement and a level of decent football, and it looked like there was a bit of a thrill back in the performances. But for so long, over 12 years, the football's been really poor.
Well, what happens in these job interviews? I'm intrigued why they keep giving certain people a job. What happens in the interview that they sit there and go, and then 12 months, 14 months later, go, he's not the guy for us? Do you not suss that out when you speak to him? You look at somebody in the eye and go, and you see who's making the decision at Man United. You still have Ferguson and David Gill hanging on like a bad smell. Who's making the decisions? Ratcliffe? Wilcox? Who's coming into this interview process and you're speaking to a manager? You've done it. You've interviewed managers. You must sit and get a feeling for somebody and go, he's the guy for us. Almost forget the CV. You need something on your CV, of course, that you've won a trophy or you've been manager a long time. But you got to look somebody in the eye and go, are you the man to get us places?
I think if you think about the appointments over the last 10, 12 years now, and look, we've flipped back and forward United from sort of people that the club know, people that basically are sort of what will be fashionable in Europe, and young people who are a bit of, Louis van Gaal and Jose Mourinho. But if you think about it, Jose Mourinho really is the only appointment that fits the criteria of the club. He's managed in the Premier League, so there's an element of risk removed of the fact that he knows the league.
It doesn't have to be a criteria, does it?
I think it's a criteria. I think knowing the league, and so I'm not saying it's perfect, but if you said now, what's the risks? Someone coming to a new league, Arne Slot came and won the league in the first season, so that can happen. And Jurgen Klopp came to Liverpool and did a great job. But my point is, if you want to remove the risks and try and sort of remove as many risks as possible, have they managed in the league before? Do they know the country? Do they know the game here? Have they managed in Europe and done well in Champions Leagues? Have they been successful and won titles? Have they done the things that Manchester United... Can they handle big pressure and big atmospheres of big clubs? If you put those 3 or 4, 5, 6 things and say, right, they've got to fit that criteria, then you're looking at the likes of Ancelotti and Tuchel, aren't you? Look at the types that they've been in England, they've won leagues, they've won Champions Leagues, they've been around the block, they've managed big players, they've managed personalities. They're not going to get a little bit scared if a pundit says something. If a pundit opens his mouth, don't be worried about a pundit, are they? So my point is, if you think about those 5 or 6 things there that are the criteria of managing a huge football club, it only points towards 2 or 3 people left that you can actually go for. And that's where Manchester United, I feel, should go, remove the risks.
What happens when somebody walks in your dressing room? We had managers at United, or new coaches come in, obviously with Kidd or Steve McLaren, and I'd work with different managers. What you want, the top players sit, and somebody walks in your dressing room who's doing a team talk or doing sessions. The top players looking at the coach and the manager to go, what have you got for us? That's what the top lads do.
Yeah.
What have you got for us?
Yeah.
And if they haven't got the answers, the players are going to eat you alive.
Do you know something, Roy, though? You say that. I mean, I speak to players at League 2 level, and they want to know what the club's training facilities are, what the plans are, what the ambitions are, what the coaching system... The players really do want to know what the club is going to do for them and what the coach is going to do. Roy's absolutely right then. It would even get more demanding at what would be a Premier League level. Who are you going to sign? What we're going to... They're going to be looking at that and they want to be inspired. I get the fact that playing for United, there should be a level of self-motivation and sort of accountability and responsibility that they take. But they still need someone to inspire them, that gives them that enthusiasm and that environment.